Entwined by shared history, Southeast Asia offers steamy jungles tacked with wildlife, beautiful beaches, culinary sensations, and multi-ethnic groups. Very warm welcome everyone. Today, my group and I are proud to present to you the country Malaysia, a country with dynamic cities, fabulous food, beautiful beaches, exotic islands, and national parks with wildlife-packed rainforest. But before we get into telling you more about this country, I would like to firstly introduce my teammates, which consist of 3 people. Hi, my name is Tola, my friends Sotheraoth, and my other teammates Pengsrun. In today's video presentations, we will cover some of the most essential information about the country Malaysia, including culture, geography, the country's economy, and politics. And last but not least, we will talk about some of the latest hot news that is happening in Malaysia right now. But without any further ado, let's dig into the presentation itself. For many people, this region is defined by its equatorial rainforest, significant chunks of primary jungle among the most ancient ecosystems on Earth, remain intact, protected by national parks and conservation projects. Malaysia is separated into 2 main areas, the West Malaysia and East Malaysia. It is an Islamic country with 14 states. So what are those 14 states? The first one is Penang, Perak, Selangor, Putrajaya, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, Johor, Pahang, Terengganu, Kelantan, Kedah, Perlis, Sabah, and last but not least, Sarawak. A country with this many states, of course, comes with many ethnicity also, which are Malay, Indian, and Chinese. As being said, Malaysia is a country in Southeast Asia, with the official name, the Federations of Malaysia. The population of this country is about 32 million people, with a size of approximately 330,000 square kilometers. The Prime Minister of Malaysia is Mr. Mahathir bin Mohamad, who is the 6th President of the country.
Malaysia has a rich cultural life, much of which revolves around the traditional festivities of its diverse populations. Malaysia's official religion is Islam, and 60% of the population are Muslim, but the country also has Hindu and Buddhist populations. Chinese Malaysians also follow Taoist and Confucianist traditions, and other remote areas also follow traditional animist beliefs. Malaysians' cuisine reflects the mixtures of ethnic groups in the country populations. The 3 most famous cuisines are Chinese, Indian, and Malay. Bahasa Melayu is the national and official language, but still English is widely spoken. Other languages such as Chinese, Javan, Tamil are spoken by minorities.
Malaysia has the 329,750 square kilometer land area, which is located in the heart of the Southeast Asia and divided into 2 geographical sections, Peninsular Malaysia and the East Malaysian province of the Sabah and Sarawak, which are located in the northern Borneo, some 650 kilometers across in the South China Sea. Malaysia Peninsula neighbor are Thailand to the north and Iceland of the country of Singapore in the south. The Andaman Sea and the Malacca Strait are on the west coast of the Peninsula Malaysia, while the South China Sea border both east coast of the Peninsula Malaysia and the East Malaysian province of the Sabah and Sarawak. Sabah and Sarawak border Kalimantan and Sarawak surround the tiny enclave of Brunei. Because of Malaysia's location on a peninsula, it has 4,675 kilometers of the coastline. Malaysia is hot and humid all year round, and over 60,000 of the country is considered to be rainforest. The east coast of the Peninsula Malaysia have the distinct rainy season because of the monsoon climate. The wettest season of the west coast of the peninsula is between September and December, while on the east coast in the Sabah and Sarawak, the rainy season comes between October and February. The rain often comes in short, strong bursts where the water seems to come straight down, as if being poured out of the bucket.
Malaysia is a constitutional monarchy that parliamentary democracies and the Prime Minister elected by the people through elections that take place regularly every 5 years. On 11 March 1946, the first Malay Congress combined 41 Malay organizations, include PKMM, and agreed to form the Hotena Melayu in Malay Congress. Through this Congress, it has given birth to Malay national organizations on 11 March 1946. The emergence of PAS in political history of land Malaysia started since August 23, 1951, when the scholar who met in Kuala Lumpur agreed to establish a union called the Union of Malaysia Ulama. This unity name was later changed to the Union of Islamic Malaysia on November 24, 1951. Party called Social Democratic or Democratic Action Party was officially registered on March 18, 1966. It is controlled by the Chinese and is well received by the Chinese in Malaysia.
Gaining independence in 1957, Malaysia had successfully diversified its economy from one that was initially agriculture and commodity-based to one that now plays hot robust manufacturing and service section that has propelled it to become a leading exporter of the electrical appliance, electric parts, and components. Malaysia is one of the most open economies in the world, with a threat to GDP ratio average over 130% since 2010. Open to trade and investment has been instrumental in employment creation and income growth, with about 40% of the jobs in Malaysia linked to export activities. After the ASEAN financial crisis of the 1997 and the 1998, Malaysia economy has been on an upward trajectory, average growth of 5.4% since 2010.
After hearing about some fun facts, lifestyle, geographies, and political situations in Malaysia, let us now move on to hearing about the current situations of this country. On March 20, 2020, New York Times releases an online news article about a fateful situation on corona outbreak in Malaysia. A gathering of 16,000 people at a Malaysian mosque became the most pandemic largest known vectors in Southeast Asia, spreading the coronavirus to half a dozen countries. A mosque in the Philippines run by Tablighi Jamaat, an Islamic missionary movement. A Tablighi Jamaat gathering in Malaysia has been linked to hundreds of coronavirus cases out there. The invited participants crowded around plastered on the floor, making coconut rice with their right hands in the traditional way. And they even slept in the mosque or in the tent set up in the religious compound with people from nearly 30 countries gathered in Malaysia for spiritual renewal. About 3 weeks later, participants in the 16,000 people that have been gathered in Malaysia have been the world's biggest Islamic missionary movement, and then they had also spread the coronavirus to half a dozen nations, creating the largest known viral vectors in Southeast Asia. And as an aftermath, more than 620 people connected to the 4-day conclave have tested positive in Malaysia, prompting the countries to seal its borders until the end of the month. Most of the 73 coronavirus cases in Brunei are tied to the gathering, as are 10 cases in Thailand also. At least 3 coronavirus deaths have been linked to the event itself. It should also be noted that the participants had to do some collective activities, such as dress the same way, pray the same ways, and some of them even advocate using wooden sticks as toothbrushes. At conclave attended by thousands of people, they have to pray and eat together in the mosque. collectively. One of the pilgrims is Mr. Mathil, a Cambodian seller of used phone who participated in the conclave itself. After returning home, he and 22 other Cambodian pilgrims tested positive. 2 of their wives are also sick right now. Ronnie Arif, the head of a community health centers in Mamuju, Sulawesi, one of the pilgrims said, "None of us have fear of corona. We are afraid of God. All sickness and all health is from God," said Mr. Ronnie himself, who is employed on the local level by the Ministry of Health. "Whatever happens to us is God's will."